Today on the Happy House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff, we're taking another look at some of the amazing projects I've had the opportunity to experience. The Happy House joins GreaterGood.org on a pretty amazing project today. They are doing a rescue rebuild of the 100th animal shelter. It's happening right now. Learn about an amazing program that inspires kids to read. We're joining City Harvest, the world's first food rescue organization based in New York. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Happy. I learned early on things are much easier with a little help. I also have a few tricks of my own to share. It's go time, people. Welcome to the Happy House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff. The Happy House crew has had the opportunity to witness and participate in so many amazing humanitarian acts. It's truly a pleasure. Today we're taking a look back at some of the projects we've been part of. I've been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to work with an amazing organization, GreaterGood.org, and specifically their signature program, Rescue Rebuild. I took a trip to Tampa to help rebuild an animal shelter and learned what a catio was.
In 2011, we had a great adoptions. For us, we did 50.
This little girl's Jackie.
Oh, hi Jackie.
She was a surrender, but apparently she had a little bit of mistreatment or difficulty with males.
Okay.
So she's a little shy with males. But
She seems okay with you right now.
Well, yeah, I'm the one with the treats.
2015, we had 356, but that doesn't tell the whole story, because we had another 650 animals over in animal services that we were able to place. And so it's over 1,000 animals this year in 2015.
That's basically 3 animals every single day finding a home.
Yes, it is.
That's really great
With
work.
a very, very small staff.
This is Luther, and it's my understanding that a young veteran, after 8 years in the military, he needed to go out of the country but had 3 dogs. And he found some women that had volunteered to take care of them while he was gone. Upon returning, he went to them and they had given 2 of them away, and the woman just said she had no idea what happened to the 3rd. So he began looking for them as best he could, but he had to go back again overseas, and this time he just stayed gone for 5 years. Fortunately, he had adopted 2 of them, and they were microchipped. And because they were microchipped, they went missing in Texas, and this is in Florida. But the shelter here scanned Luther, found the chip. They were able to track down the owner, get in touch with him, and now he gets to spend the rest of his years, his elderly years, with somebody that really loves him and will give him the kind of home that he deserves. I know someone who is an outstanding transporter. These are free transports, and she's going to set it up so that he will be transported from here all the way to Texas. It'll take about 4 days. It's just all set up by people who really care about the animals and want to see them in loving homes.
When Rescue Rebuild looks for a shelter, we look for a lot of things. Who's doing the most for the community? Who's really going to be impacted the most? Who's really could benefit the most from what we could do for them? And so that's why we landed here. Gosh, this is our 100th. Can you imagine? 100.
That's a lot.
I spend more time in shelters than home. It's a good day. This is our catio. That's our fancy name for outdoor cat enclosure. So we built this. It's all Florida hurricane proof, so the kitties can stay here and not blow to Kansas. And this will be their outdoor space. It's so much research has gone into really how healthy cats are when they live in cages, and it's not good. The families will walk in, and that will be the first thing they see is that super cute mural that these guys have done out of silhouetted cutouts. What you're seeing here then is where they're going to have the intake cats. I love that furry one.
I do too.
The face. Oh.
They're all really cute.
Cats and kitty litter boxes cracks me up. You have all this beautiful enrichment, and where do they spend time? litter box. Paula has come all the way from Oklahoma to help paint. Can you imagine the dedication? So we met her doing a rebuild on a shelter that got leveled by an F5 tornado. So, you know, we roped her in. We need good help.
Where do I aim? How do I?
So, keep your finger off the trigger.
Yeah.
Okay, so this little part here is how you line it up. Perfect. So one of the things that people forget about is the volunteers, you know? I mean, the dogs don't really care about the color and the polka dots.
Right.
But when you're trying to encourage volunteerism and get people to come out and walk dogs and play with dogs, and that's hugely important. I mean, these dogs, they need to be played with and enriched. And so you have something fun like this, and it encourages people and families to come out here. It doesn't seem like a depressing penal colony kind of thing, you know?
Right.
You start down that road, I'm just surprised we haven't got a truck to run off the road yet, just looking. You know, it's just so neat. I have never seen tires with polka dots on them and painted up.
I think it's going to be great. You know, you've got the ceiling that's going to let natural light in.
Right.
You've got the nice perches everywhere. You've got a bench for people to sit on and come out here and play with cats. You've got a nice ramp. Kitties can come and go as they please. I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah,
It's not so bad to be a cat here.
No.
Look at that.
All you can say is wow.
Oh, the guys did such a great job on this. I mean, they put so much heart into it, so I think it's kind of fitting that there's hearts on the walls. It's really cool. Thanks for making our 100th build so special.
It's special. That's not the word for it.
Really appreciate it. Awesome.
Just a wow.
To learn more about how you can help, visit our website. Our crew had the opportunity to participate in a book distribution at a local hospital. This helps to form a connection between the doctor and the patient and make visits easier. Today, the Happi House has the opportunity to join forces with the greater good to distribute lots and lots of books to a local literacy program. I'm at the Greater Good warehouse and I'm very impressed with the volume of books I see. All of these books are going to find a new home. We've opened a few boxes just to see exactly what kind of books these children will be receiving. There's a variety of books for all ages and interests. This project was made possible by a very generous donor. I cannot wait to get these books into the hands of kids. Oh, look, point to Happi. I'm with Matt Keller today, Chief Marketing Officer of Capstone, and we are delivering some books to some kids here at the Hennepin County Medical Center.
That's right.
So can you tell me a little bit about what Capstone does and how this project came to be?
Well, Capstone's a publishing company in Minnesota here. We've been around about 25 years and we do a lot for struggling readers and reluctant readers. Classic reading profile would be a 10-year-old boy who just doesn't want to read. We do a lot of high interest publishing for them. And we connected with Greater Good and with HCMC to donate over 40,000 books here. And so we're excited to be providing reading material for kids who come here to the hospital.
As I understand it, a lot of the children who come here may not even have books in their home.
No, that's right, exactly. And research shows that if you give a kid a book, they're going to become engaged in learning, and it's also a bonding thing with the mom or the dad. And so we just want to make sure literacy is a big deal for Capstone, and you have to start young with kids. And if a kid is reading by the age of 5, their future looks much brighter than if they're not.
40,000 books is a lot of books.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for this generous donation. I know it's going to make a lot of kids really happy.
No, you bet. Capstone is proud to be part of this.
Not only are we bringing books here today, but we are going to be doing this project over and over throughout the country. So there are book nooks throughout the campus where these books are stored, and then on the back of each book is a sticker in 7 different languages that says, "Take me home," so that no matter who the child is, what language their parent reads, they will see the sticker that they are invited to take that book home.
So doctors can give out the books, but children can also shop for their own shop. When I say shop, I mean take their own books.
Right.
That's such a great program.
So when a child comes into the hospital, there are a lot of reasons we give a book. We might give a book to calm a kid down. We might give a book to a child to distract them. A patient might be really sick, and we've got the sibling there, and you kind of feel left out. No matter what the situation is, we can always bring a book in, and it really makes a huge difference. For literacy to be important to families, it needs to be important to everybody. And one of the ways we do that is that the doctor walks in with the book, talks to the parents about how important it is. A lot of times we don't actually say reading a book. Sometimes our parents aren't literate, but it's really, if you're 2 years old, you don't know if somebody is reading the words in the book.
Right.
It's the number of words a child hears, and that's why we have the program.
So when a patient comes in, do they always get a book, or how does it work?
Thanks to the generosity of the Reach Out and Read program, we have books available for every well child check from 6 through 5 years of age, but we also have extra books for kids, younger than 6 months through adolescence.
Tell me firsthand what you see when you give a book to a child.
Oh, immediately it changes the encounter for us because we're not so scary all of a sudden. They open up right away, they'll smile, and they'll reach out and grab the book, and they're clearly excited about it every time. Some of these kids, you see them hugging the books as they leave, and they love them, yeah.
That's so great.
And they get excited when they come back for their next visit, and their next visit they ask about the books every time. And really, it's just the excitement that they have for it is the best. I can't imagine doing the visits, especially those long checkups for the kids, without the books.
We had a little boy was sitting down at the table, and a volunteer was reading to him for an hour and a half. And so she started packing up her books, and he said, "Where are you going?" And she said, I have to get back to work. And he said, "Are you going to miss me?" And she said, "I am going to miss you. You are so great. And they're going to call your name next. I know they're going to call you next." And he said, "No, they're not going to call me next. I was done with my exam when I sat down with you. I asked my papa if I could stay for stories." The kids who come, they know that every time they come, they're going to get a book. And they always say their favorite book is the one they get from their doctor.
That's a very great story.
It is. It's why I come to work every day.
City Harvest in New York City feeds so many people a day, I could not even believe it. Tagging along with their crew as they made their collection and then watching a meal be made was so inspiring. The Happi House is joining City Harvest today. It's a New York-based food rescue organization, actually the world's first. We are going to follow them along on a typical day of food rescue and then distribution.
City Harvest is the world's first and oldest food rescue organization. This year we are on task to rescue 55 million pounds of food, which we will then distribute to emergency food programs throughout New York City. We have over 500 programs, and they're food pantries and soup kitchens that serve 1.4 million people every year. Essentially, what we have is a bunch of really great staff members who go out and find the food from restaurants and manufacturers, farms, and all over the country. And then they bring it back to our warehouse, where we have a wonderful group of people there who get it off those trucks and put it on other trucks that go out and distribute to those programs.
involved with this program?
When I started Silver Moon Bakery, I wanted to also be able to satisfy our customers, but also to be able to help the people who really need and can't afford bread, which is the staff of life.
How much bread do you donate each week?
I would say we donate between 150 and 250 pounds of bread a week, which is a lot of bread for us because we're a teeny tiny bakery.
Yes.
Any given day, someone will come and say, "Hey, City Harvest, you're doing, a hell of a job," whatever the case, and that makes my day. We get to feed people, we get to at least stop some of the hunger. You know what I mean? And
How much food do you pick up every day?
oh wow, we give out like 150,000 pounds a day.
I'm sorry, did you say 150,000 pounds of food a day?
Yes, we have a lot of trucks, so a day we give out. Yeah.
That's a lot of food.
Oh yeah.
Food.
I've always heard of the hunger, but I've never seen it until I've been on firsthand. And we do a lot. We try, we're making a dent.
You do good work.
It's much more for us to do, but we're making a dent.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So.
After all the donations are picked up, they're delivered to places just like this, Broadway Community Church, which has a soup kitchen. Lots of people then receive nourishing and healthy meals.
It's a good day for a lot of reasons. I can think of many. I got this guy with a camera in front of me. It must be important. They're from City Harvest, and they're doing a little film about what City Harvest gives to us, and we sure are happy and grateful about that. City Harvest makes it a good day all the time. But
this is called by the New York Times the 4-star soup kitchen. It's a soup kitchen run by Broadway Community that gets a lot of stuff from City Harvest, and we're very happy about that. City Harvest brings us lots of great things, including a lot of fresh produce. Every Monday afternoon we have a fresh produce pantry all through the year, and City Harvest is absolutely essential to that.
the main course today, Shanghai Ginger Swai. That's an Asian catfish. Delicious fillet of fish that's been poached in a dashi and miso broth with shiitake and scallion and seaweed and ginger, all festooned across it as it sits on top of a lovely piece of rice.
Before you came to City Harvest, were you a chef in your previous life?
Yes, and I've been a chef for about the last 30 years or so. I came in here 15 years ago just to volunteer for a day, right after 9/11 actually. A lot of people, I lived around the corner at the time, and a lot of people after 9/11 got around to doing something that they said they were going to do, like volunteer at their local soup kitchen.
Right.
Well, I did that too, but I ended up getting stuck here, and here I am today, and it's the best job I ever had.
I feel like from talking to you, you don't feel stuck at all. You think that this is pretty amazing.
I do.
And for dessert, apricot banana parfait.
When I first came, about 3/4 of the people that walked in our doors had been born poor. They were poor, they had been born poor, they grew up poor, they were poor. Today, 3/4 of the people that walk in this door today were not born poor. They were born middle class, straightforward, and something happened. So these are us. These are not somebody else. And we treat them like they're us.
In New York City, we know that there are over 1 million people who are food insecure, and 1 in 4 children are food insecure. And the interesting thing about New York City is it's the type of hunger that we're facing is these are middle-class people or working people who have jobs and have, access to resources, but New York is expensive. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes it means choosing between the rent and food. It may mean a mom is feeding her kids 3 meals, but she's only having 1.
Okay.
It may mean, skipping lunch and things of that nature. And so that's why City Harvest is committed to not just providing food, but providing healthy foods, because that may also be the option. The option may be to buy a less healthy option because it's cheaper. And so that's really what we do. Over 50% of what we distribute is fresh produce, 75% is nutrient dense, because it's bigger than just food insecurity, it's also health. And so we try to combat all of those things at one time, given the special circumstances of New York City.
If you can help someone, put a smile on their face, it'll make you feel good.
Yes, it will.
I sleep good at night. When I go home, I know I did a good job.
What more can you ask for than that?
That's right.
It's really an inspiring program, and thank you for inviting us along for the ride so we could see firsthand all the good that City Harvest is doing.
Thank you for telling the world. We appreciate it.
It's such an honor to be able to be part of these experiences and even contribute to them sometimes. This is why I love being part of the Happi House.
Perfect.
Why is that always so satisfying?
Power tools are always satisfying. And this actually goes up on top here.
Okay.
It's nice that they cut this for us.
It is nice.
I love when
It's nice to have people.
I know, isn't it?
Where do I aim? How do I?
So, keep your finger off the trigger.
Yeah.
Okay, so this little part here is how you line it up. Perfect.
I think I did that. I think that was sort of a do-over.